rise up, start afresh, and see the brand new opportunities that each day has to offer. And while you're at it, why don't you grab a cup of joe? Welcome to Smell the Coffee with your favorite girls, Anna Raizakoya, and the gorgeous, the stunning, the everything, Diana Master. Poo, 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 poo.
Oh, it's the intro for me. Yes, I am all that and more. Unfortunately, you do have limited time to introduce me, so you can't go, you can't
on and on
and mention all the amazing, wonderful things that I am.
Yeah.
But yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm great.
Awesome stuff.
You can interview me. I'm ready.
What am I interviewing?
I'll act bougie. Yes, I know.
You know, the worst interviews are the people who are not interested in being interviewed. Imagine I'm asking you questions and you're just giving me close-ended answers. I'm like, so tell us about your project. Yeah, the project launched yesterday.
As you know, the
where did you come for this interview?
Guys, if you're going to come for an interview, at least pretend to be interested. At least.
But what I don't understand is that this is your thing. Why are you not interested in it?
You need to be excited. You know, the thing is, us as TV presenters, we've had our fair share of guests, right? You have those guests that are so excited to talk about whatever it is that you have to be like, listen, we have very limited time, so we can't. And then you get those guests that are just like, my name is Diana.
And
okay, Diana, so what do you do? I'm a TV presenter and an actress. Bro, please, like, give me something to work with. And most of the time, right, when you already pick up that this person is, maybe some of them are just shy, but then there are some people that are just, I don't know if they want to act like a celebrity or act like a diva or whatever. So you try to give them the energy. Like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I've seen some of your work. Your work is great. Which project did you enjoy the most? Yeah, all the projects are the same.
I tell you, in this business, you will meet a lot of characters. And it's up to you as a TV presenter. I always say that broadcast one-on-one, as a TV presenter, you must be able to make your guest feel comfortable.
Yes.
And if you fail at doing so, then you're absolutely going to have a bad interview. But you might, in some instances, you will see that you've tried.
Yeah, no, sometimes you know you've tried.
But like the person is just not into it, and thereafter that is out of your control.
There's nothing more you can do, and it really sucks because at the end of the day, we're also trying to make it as interesting
for the viewers also.
For the viewers. And I don't need to say this, but most of the time, like, you come to me and you're talking to me about, I don't know, for argument's sake, biosciences. I don't know the first thing about biosciences, but I have to act like I'm interested, and I'm like, oh, okay, so do tell me more. Now you're there like, yeah, bioscience. It's like, listen, I know I'm dumb, but you don't have to, like, you don't have to rub it back in my face. You don't have to make it known that, okay, this girl is dumb.
You know, when I do my TV presenter research, when I do broadcast journalism research, and I pick up this thing from other interviews, when, for example, if I'm watching CNN's Larry Madowo and he's interviewing someone, and maybe he's interviewing this type of guest that we don't like, I think they also just react in the way in which we would react, because like, it's out of your control.
It's out of your control.
There's nothing you can't force this information out of the person, and you are just feeling so sad for the person because, I mean, you took your time out from your busy schedule to come for an interview. You drove, let's say, 5 kilometers. Like, you could have stayed at home and passed this one out.
At home, it's fine. Like,
make it work.
If you're
make it count.
uncomfortable, just come out and be like, you know what, I'm uncomfortable. I cannot do camera interviews or television interviews. Then it's fine. We don't bother you. But then most of the time, some of these people are the ones that actually say, hey guys, I want to be interviewed. And it's like, okay, cool, come through, right? Because we're always so welcoming and so open, right? Like, if you have something great to promote, yes, sure, come through. And then they get there and it's like, even from the way they're sitting, and it's like,
I think we
yeah.
just have to, like, we as presenters and interviewers, I think we need to do more work on, like, just studying different personalities.
Yes.
Yeah, studying
But I
different
think in a way,
personalities.
because of how long we've been doing this, we have. Because before, if you come and you give me attitude, I'll give you attitude back. I'll be like, oh, you don't want to speak? Fine. Let's not speak then.
Yeah.
And I will make it known that, okay, listen, I'm reciprocating the energy. But because we can't do that, now we have to find a way to give the
Accommodate.
80% if this person is giving 20%.
Definitely.
And then you get those people that are giving 100%. You're like, can we tone it down just a tad bit? Because like now we're overpowering the studio.
Or the ones that want to interview
You.
while it's their interview. And you're like,
I'm the one asking the questions, please. But yeah, man, we see a lot of
Yeah.
characters, like you said, but that doesn't mean we don't enjoy what we do. We absolutely love it. We've had some amazing people that we've interviewed. We've had a lot of fun, met new wonderful people,
Yeah.
forged
New relationships,
Yes,
yeah.
but that is it. We'll be taking a quick ad break and returning with our top stories. Now, in this economy, I've said the older I get, the more I realize why people do fraud. Like, I just understand. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand. Now, there's a woman who pocketed £94,000 in sham maternity benefits after faking 17 pregnancies. An Italian woman has been jailed for falsely claiming to have had 5 children and 12 miscarriages so she could pocket more than 110,000 euros in maternity benefits. Barbara Eowell, 50, was accused of fraudulently making a small fortune in state benefits, as well as raking up a considerable amount of time off work over a 24-year period, according to local press. Of her 17 purported pregnancies, she claimed only 5 were carried to term, resulting in children. Prosecutors said were never registered and had ever been seen by officials or anyone else. Eowell claimed to have delivered her latest child last December. However, police said they'd had her under surveillance throughout the preceding 9 months and that the whole pregnancy was a sham. Prosecutors apparently said Eowell's alleged fraud was made possible by the theft of birth certificates from a clinic in Rome and other forged documents. She was also accused of using pillows to give herself the appearance of a baby bump, as well as walking as if carrying the additional weight of an unborn child. Eowell's 55-year-old partner, David Pizzinato, reportedly told police during an interrogation that he knew fully well Eowell was apparently never pregnant. He is understood to have testified against her in exchange for a lighter sentence, having also been charged as her accomplice in the fraud. Eowell herself reportedly remained defiant, continuing to claim her 5 children do indeed exist and that every one of her purported pregnancies were genuine. She nevertheless received a jail sentence of 1 year and 6 months.
you know what? I think that's like a brilliant idea.
Dala what you must. Dala what you must.
Oh my gosh. I mean, okay. First things first. Fraud is
Bad.
wrong.
Wrong.
We don't do fraud.
Bad.
Like, we don't support fraudsters. We disassociate ourselves
with fraudsters.
from fraudsters. However,
However,
I feel like this woman is smart. She is a step ahead of all of us. How are you going to fake 17 pregnancies? How about 2?
and then claim 12 of them were miscarriages. Now where are the 5 kids? Sis, where are they? Where? She's like, they're there. Where? They are there.
And she claimed this money.
Yes. Because, you know, in first world countries, you get all these benefits. Children go to school for free, all of those things. And you even get like money and whatnot. So she was just collecting all this money.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not saying fraud is right, But the older I get, the more I understand why people do
People
fraud.
are finding more creative ways to make money.
Yes, because
in this
I mean,
economic
in this economy,
climate.
no, in this repo rate economy, Tommy, like it's not giving. It's not giving.
Oh no.
But I mean, I feel bad for the birth certificates she saw. Imagine you give birth, and then you register your child, and then that birth certificate is nowhere to be found. Like, guys,
Yeah.
that's terrifying. And also just the fact that she's actually taking from people that could use that money. You get what I'm saying? Because there are these. Because now imagine you are actually pregnant and you actually had a miscarriage. Now you have to go through all of these legal processes just to claim that yes, the money was indeed used because I was indeed pregnant, but then unfortunately, and then you have to prove, you know, doctor's records, all of those things. She's just
I think it's a bit
also
also very insensitive.
It's very insensitive
to other people that, you know, like mothers who are struggling
to have kids.
children.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's not a bit.
It's
very
insensitive. Yeah.
All right, moving over to some news. A woman returned from the dead after starting to move in hospital morgue body bag. Morgue workers were terrified when a woman seemed to return from the dead as she started moving around inside the body bag. The unnamed patient had shown signs of severe malnutrition, and when she was hooked up to monitors, showed no signs of respiratory or brain activity and was declared dead. However, after 5 hours inside a body bag in the hospital at Guatemala, she suddenly started moving. Shocked morgue workers rushed to alert doctors, and she was readmitted to the emergency room. However, despite resuscitation efforts, the patients did not show any vital signs, and she was declared dead for the second and final time. The hospital sent their support to family for the difficult time they were facing. It is unclear if the incident is being investigated by authorities. A hospital spokesperson said the young woman had first arrived in a precarious condition and shown signs of severe malnutrition and had a medical history of seizures. The spokesperson added after 30 minutes of medical efforts, she was declared deceased and her body was transferred to the morgue as part of the established protocol.
It seems like people dying and coming back to life has now been the theme for Smell the Coffee. This is the third story of a woman or a person coming back to life.
But this is scary. Imagine if you were the morgue worker. You are just checking sounds and movements in the body as you are pushing the trolley. What's happening?
Like, honestly speaking, that's the reason I could never work in a morgue or be a mortician or coroner. No. At some point I wanted to. We're having this conversation early in the morning to say, at some point I wanted to like work in a morgue just to see how things work, man. Like, I'm just curious by nature. I would see people running.
I've seen a ghost.
No, because in African culture, that's not normal.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not normal. How are you dying and coming back?
It's very scary.
It's like, to them, it's like, oopsie.
But imagine if she had been declared alive for the second time. Like, okay, she was...
I know that means there was something going on.
So she had died and then woke up, now this time for good.
Yeah, like she's alive.
She's alive.
I wouldn't want that. But I always think of like those people that, or rather die or whatever, and then 10 years later, you find out that this person was never dead. If that's the case, don't ever come back to me. Because people have asked me, like, what would you do if your dad comes back and then you find out he was never dead? I was like, I'd rather he stay where he is.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to mourn him twice. Because the pain I felt the first time, I don't want to feel that again a second time.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you're constantly waiting for that moment where it's like, okay, he's dead again. You're basically counting down the days. So, no. And I don't know why hospitals that side are not doing better in declaring their patients dead. Like, surely if you studied medicine, you would know when a person is dead.
Yeah.
How are you falsely claiming them? I would sue.
Sure, it's just a lot of things going
I
on.
would sue. Definitely. Now, in some disgusting, and I mean disgusting news, a Domino's worker caught picking his nose and wiping it in the dough. Pizza giant Domino's has apologized after a worker at one of its restaurants was filmed appearing to pick his nose and wipe it in a large mass of dough. The clip, filmed at a Japanese branch of the chain, went viral on Monday after it was shared on the Bakusai online forum. It shows an employee in a Domino's uniform talking to the person behind the camera while kneading the dough. He then appears to stick a finger up his nose before rubbing it in the dough. Within hours of the video being uploaded, Domino's Japan had posted on its X account to apologize. The business explained that the man in the video was a part-time worker at one of its stores in Amagasaki City near Osaka in the Hyogo prefecture. It vowed to ensure something like this never happens again, adding, "We deeply apologize for making our valued customers uncomfortable." The pizza dough shown in the clip was being prepared for a 24-hour fermentation, the statement said, and was thrown out before it could be used. Both the employee shown in the video and the one filming are facing punishment according to employment regulations, according to the Japan Times. The store in question has also suspended operations.
Oh, I would suspend operation and suspend the people who are filming and the people who are picking their noses, like, because you are making me lose money.
Yes.
People are
all the
not
dough.
going to Domino's,
To eat,
and
exactly.
I, for one, wouldn't go there.
Never.
After seeing that, I wouldn't go
Never.
there.
Because now you're thinking, how many of these incidences went by unnoticed?
Yes.
And how many more incidences are going to go by unnoticed?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it's not like these people are looking at CCTV cameras 24/7. And sometimes your back is to the CCTV camera. And what if you're just that spiteful person? You get that one mean customer and you decide you're going to spit their dough or whatever. No. Honestly speaking, just throw out the whole, like all of the dough, whatever it was that you're mixing, throw it out, get new ingredients, start again. And ensure your customers that, you know what, listen, we're putting measures in place. I don't know what kind of measures you can put in place for this, but I don't know.
I think the measure is just to close down, get everyone out, and like rebrand. Instead of now being called Domino's, maybe you can call Casinos or something.
But it's a chain, so you can't. Because these people have already bought franchise rights and whatnot, so they can't. But then now it's not just killing this one store. Now it's killing the whole franchise.
Yeah. Because even if Domino's was in Namibia and this happened in Japan,
yeah,
so I'm not going.
What if this is the standard?
Yeah.
But that does bring us to the end of our top stories. Now, after the break, we speak to Reason Bock, actor and aspiring playwright, who talks about his experience in Germany, showcasing his first 3-part theatre production with Jemima Ndebele.
In this segment of WeChat, I am now joined by aspiring thespian and just lovely human being overall, Reason Bock. How are you today, Reason?
I am well. I'm managing, I can say, the weather. Yeah, I'm doing okay.
So I have brought you here today because many people have tried to, pursue a creative career, particularly in, the field of acting, which is exactly what you're doing, right? And you have had the privilege of going to Germany and, basically exploring that side of the thespian culture. Can you tell me a little bit more about your experience and how you got to that point?
Okay, so where do I even begin with this question? Okay, naturally, I've loved art so much. It's been something that I knew I was going to pursue at a very young age. So initially it began there. And from there, I got inspired. I had advice from friends, from family, from creatives I look up to. They just, give you that courage, that push you need, to step foot into the direction that I wanted to go to. So yes, there was that. And then I remember towards the end of my high school career, I really was adamant about going to College of the Arts to pursue a course in performing arts, which is drama, dance, and music. So, I was okay, drama, music, I'm there. So I went, loved it, the first month already, I knew that this is something that I want to take seriously, and I enjoyed. So I stayed, and through that, like you mentioned, I got the opportunity to travel to Germany, and it was because students from Germany came to our school. They wanted to, work on a project. We didn't think much of the project, like my fellow peers who went to Germany with me. We didn't think too much about the project. We're just like, okay, for enrichment, let's do it, vibes. We love art. Let's do it. And then, yeah, the project was showcased, like a video was shown like at the school of the students that came to Namibia. The head liked the performance, and they were very adamant in wanting us to, showcase our project there as well. We're like, we are coming, yes we will. And that's how that happened. And yeah, basically that's it.
Now, I think it's quite interesting how you got to meet these people, because we briefly touched on it, off camera. But do you mind sharing what exactly the project was, and also how you got to meeting these German foreign exchange students?
Okay, so the project, okay, let's talk. So the first time we met, when we just spoke, we started to get to know each other. We didn't know what the project was about. It was a device theater production, meaning that we had to start from scratch, not something that's planned. So we started from scratch, with ideas, with concepts, with what we want to do. But we knew at the end of the day, we wanted to address, the social issues that, we face as the youth, as Africans, as Europeans, to merge the problems we face, whether it's a variety of problems, it was cultural, it was national, it was global. And we spoke mainly about what the youth goes through, whether it's like mental health, whether it's sexual orientation, whether it's career guidance, just something that like puts you in your path of like what you want to do. And through that concept, we came up with characters, we came up with fairies, we came up with theme songs. There was also like a whole musical thing. There was a moment, she was great. And yeah, that's what it is. That's what it was about. So when they mentioned, these key words, we were like, okay, this is something we're very interested in. We don't know about it, so let's just see for enrichment, let's do it for for us to gain experience and about stuff we don't even know about, the problems that they would also go through, the Germans. We were also not aware of it, and you're like, let's put our ideas together and see where this can go.
And what did you learn? You mentioned that it was also problems that people in Germany were facing, the youth in Germany were facing. And based on that exchange and that cultural exchange and that experience that you have, what are some similarities in terms of challenges that the youth are facing both in Germany and in Namibia that you picked up?
Interesting. I would say it's very similar, It's common, the stuff that we go through. I mean, everything comes back down to the mental health. Everything that we go through, the challenges we go through, and also since we are more connected because of the internet and social media, we have similar problems. And I was actually shocked to know that they can relate to us Namibians as well, because we're like, oh girl, you live in Germany, you have these problems, and they're like, oh yeah, we do. And what else have they mentioned? What else is similar? I think most of the problems we addressed was similar, as in, the challenges we face, whether it's discrimination, and also because it was Germans and, race, it also had to play a part in it. They, the stereotypes that, black people this, white people this, we also had to address it. I don't know if I should mention it, but,
Please, feel free. This is a safe space.
Let me just, remarks and parental issues. I'm gonna pass the question. Parental issues, and yeah, it was very enlightening, to actually see, that we just, live like from like our perspective, and you know, don't know like what other people like go through. We can only guess what they go through. So yeah, and also like in Germany, for example, like one of the guys we worked with, he's Austrian, and he also spoke about like how anytime he mentions there's also Austrian, he also gets like side-eyed in like Germany as well. So Germany is like a very strict country, and you know history books. Yeah, so
They speak facts. They have
speak
all of the
facts.
history,
The tea
literally.
is there. So
Thank you so much for spending your morning with us and for letting us kickstart your day. Until tomorrow, it's all our love, all our light, and happy Thursday.